Hello, my name is Lynn Hicks, and welcome to my website. Here you're going to find some great information on feminine health and beauty. I learned this through study of ancient cultures with great teachers who traveled through my organic flower farm and shared in retreats. And what was amazing to me is it really kind of awakened myself to my body and to much of it through nutrition, harmonious relationships, energy management, in all very simple, practical ways. And what's absolutely wonderful about this information is that we are women, so it's second nature to us, and our body wants to naturally do these things because it naturally has an innate health system that's going to take care of itself. And we need to allow that to happen and actually be aware of how this can happen and let it do its thing. So I welcome you. I have tons of information. I've written a book called The Lotus Project that shares some of the information in it. And then throughout time, I'm posting all kinds of videos that will help you learn how to quickly bring in more of this feminine energy, which is oxytocin of the parasympathetic nervous system. It's just going to bring more health, more authenticity, more ease and grace to your life. And it's going to happen naturally because as we do these things, we're already in a feminine body and this is what it needs to operate. So it's going to start doing it habitually. So once we kind of retrain and remind ourselves how we're supposed to be in this grace and ease, it becomes very natural for our body to just bring it in, and we don't have to think about it. We don't have to make ourselves do it because it's just natural for the body that we're in. The most important thing I ever learned along the way was the difference between masculine and feminine energy. And you can call it numerous things. It's the yin yang, the positive, the negative, the light dark, however you want to. Different systems call it different ways, but it's truly, there are two opposing energies that are very complementary and they work well in nature, and you see it all the time. And we're in that with men and women. We're in the two opposing energies that work very complementary together to make actually life and a third greater thing. So in understanding the difference between the two, and we have both in our bodies, both men and women have masculine and feminine energy, but women, we're in a feminine body, so we are to be in more feminine energy and balance with the masculine energy. Men, it's just the opposite. And what we've done as modern women is that we've developed a ton of masculine energy, and we're operating in masculine energy all the time because we're in a business world of men, and it's run by men, and it's run by a way that works for their bodies just naturally. And for us, it's really killing ourselves. It's hurting our wombs, it's hurting our hearts and breaths, and it's hurting our thyroids, which are the three feminine chakras. And those feminine areas need to be in more oxytocin and be using a different energy of relaxation. So you really want to pay attention. You're allowed to be in masculine energy. When you're in business, that's wonderful to use your power. But when you're done, you need to get out and get back into the feminine energy because it's only going to work better for your body. And this is the way we generally like to be. It's just that we haven't found the time or space to do it. And we've taken this masculine energy and we're using it in all of our tasks. Masculine energy is very taskmaster. It's very efficient. It's very systems. It's manufacturing. It's very reasoning, very logical. So it's a straight line from A to B as quick as you can go. Feminine energy is more of a curvy line. It's more meandering. It's more awareness on many other levels of nature, of sensory stimulation. It's communicating, which you must be slower to really communicate. Negotiating, it takes more time to negotiate. All kinds of connection, and we're just connected to the world in a different way than men, and we feel the world. So it's a very feeling nature versus a very mind, logic, reasoning nature. And again, we have both, and part of our job is to blend the two, but we have this wonderful gift through our feeling nature where we can sense and know things. And it's not of the mind. It's really of the body and of the feminine nature. So we want to bring this around more. And when we're in this feminine energy, it's when we're enjoying our cooking. It's when we're enjoying decorating our houses or any kind of artistry. It's when we're enjoying conversation and supporting the community and all these wonderful things that we naturally do when we have time. So we just need to bring back that feeling, that wonderful way of ourselves to more of our lives rather than allowing this taskmaster masculine energy to run us. The way I learned to really feel the shift in my body, and it's so palatable when you understand and learn how to do this, was through a practice of the breath. So I'm going to teach you this breath, and in many systems, breath can shift us, and many times science is very clear that it can shift you into the relaxation response if you do deep breathing. I'm going to teach you a breath that is a deep breath, and we're allowing the breath into our belly. We're not sucking it in, because when we go, what we're doing is we're telling our body there's panic and to go into the sympathetic nervous system. And you know that when you hear information, it's almost like you take this quick intake of air, because you're like, in a fear or panic. And that way our body is aware to kind of get there and brace ourselves for an emergency. This is not like that at all. This is more of a filling of your belly that you're allowing a breath in. And then when we exhale, we're going to make a pleasurable sound. And a pleasurable sound is going to let our vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve in our body, go up to our hypothalamus and tell it that we are in relaxation, we're in safety, we're in calm, and it's going to shift us out of that sympathetic emergency system into the parasympathetic of relaxation. So you can really feel this through the breath if you do it a few times. And what I did was I just practiced this after I learned it numerous times through my house, in my car, and really started to create awareness of when I was in panic and when I was not. Most of the time I was. And then when I was in panic, did I need to be? We don't need to be in masculine energy in this panic adrenal drive most of the time. So I started to retrain myself, and as I said earlier, the greatest thing about that is our body will do it naturally for us, because we're already in a woman's body, and it has greater health when we're more in the parasympathetic nervous system. So you really want to relax when you're taking this breath, and you really want to make a pleasurable sound, and you can do it numerous ways, and even in the end make up your own. A lot of healers make sounds. You'll find after you giggle a ton, you kind of go, ah, at the end. In the breath of passion, we use ah, oh, or You could use ha. You could use ah. Now, Ellie Drake teaches it online in her Braveheart community using the ha sound. I'm going to do it that way. Really, you can try any of these sounds, and you know that you do it when you're enjoying food. With the sound, you just go and that's when you're in the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're just going to learn how to do this throughout our day so we can start to have more awareness. Now, it's kind of silly when you do this because we're not used to making pleasurable sounds out loud, but again, we're doing this to let our body know to switch into the other nervous system. So it's going to take conscious thinking, our body and relaxation, the sound of our voice, and something that we're going to have to practice, and we're doing this to create more health. So it will probably make you giggle. It'll make you giggle to watch me. It'll make me giggle to do it, but that brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system as well. So it's all good. So let's begin, and I'd hope that you can do this with me, and we're just going to sit upright, in a very relax our shoulders, relax our jaw, relax our eyes, relax our body. And we're going to allow a breath in and really let it fill up. And then on the exhale, we're going to make a pleasurable sound. Ah. Let's do it 2 more times. Ah. And again. And I don't know if you can notice the shift in me, but it's kind of like this lovely swirly energy. I feel much more relaxed. I feel more grounded in my body. I feel more like Lynn. And you can clearly notice the difference that you have after you do that kind of breath versus how you were before. And I invite you to try this and try it numerous times and keep doing it until you do sense this more subtle way. And that practice will start to make you aware of when you're in oxytocin and when you're not. And you can simply bring yourself in. It's going to give you more clarity. You're going to solve more questions, and you're going to find a more comfortable way to ride about the world. So I look forward to the next time. I invite you to write me about the practice, and yeah, we'll get together and learn a little bit more about feminine health and how we can be the most beautiful women that we can. Thank you.